sometimes it do take us a little bit longer to figure things out. It's not really a time limit on anything, but just remember, time ain't on your side, and the earlier you figure it out, the better. Today I want to talk about some mistakes I made from 18 to 21, and if I were able to start over, this is what I would do. So I graduated high school in 2018. I had a job flipping burgers at McDonald's from 10th grade all the way through my first year in community college, and I just want to say I really didn't save that much money. I didn't invest, and I wasn't really learning anything. I didn't know nothing about stocks. I didn't know nothing about 401ks, Roth IRAs, all that good stuff. Just ways to invest my money and get a return on, what I was making. But I wasn't really making that much. I'll probably say in 2 weeks, max check was probably like $450, $500, just depending on how many hours I worked. But work crew was fun. Vibes were great. It taught me that, hey, you got to get a job one day. So I'm thankful for that. When I was in high school and when I graduated, the only bill I had was a phone bill. I didn't have rent, student loans, all that good stuff. Some of y'all might have some bills. A lot of people had kids in high school. I don't know your situation, but like I said, the quicker you learn it, the better. So after I was working my first job, I got another job at my local campus bookstore. Worked there for probably about not 2 to 3 years, probably a year and a half. Wasn't really making that much there, but I was working there and McDonald's, and I was an engineering student. Man, that was hard, I ain't gonna lie. But I still showed up every day. Eventually, I gave up on engineering, went to marketing, and then I took a leap of faith. So I just feel like I was babyfied, man. So from 18 to 20, I was still at my grandma's house, staying with my mama. I just feel like everything was being handed to me, and I wasn't really learning anything. I didn't really get no real responsibility, you know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm finna jump up. I'm about to go to this university, and I'm about to move hours away. Jumped up, moved hours away. I had about $3,000 saved up when I came to college up here to this university. So very thankful for that. I did start to develop a little bit of discipline when I was around 20, close to 21. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I do need to start saving my money because in the long run, it's really going to help me. So when I got here, got a job at a car wash, making $10 an hour. Wasn't really able to save that much, but with me being in college, I was getting money back from the school. So I was getting that money. It felt like the lottery hit every time. I was so happy. Probably like $3,500, $4,000 a semester I was getting. Blowing it up a cat's ass. That's one mistake I was making, was not saving my money and not investing, because why not put it into Robinhood? Why not put it into these stocks and ETFs that's a guaranteed 10 to 12% return every year? Save your money. Number two, I was going out a lot. So when I first got up here, that's when I really got my first taste of partying. When I was back at home, I wasn't really a partier. I was more reserved to myself, and I wasn't really doing what everybody else do. Never really have been that type anyways, but I just wanted to see what the party scene was like. Got my taste of my first party, bro, and since then, I had just been outside every weekend, working, going out every weekend, stuck in the matrix, you know what I'm saying? Spending probably $50, $60 to $100 on drinks, and at the time, I wasn't making as much money as I made now. I wasn't doing YouTube. I didn't have all these other side hustles going, so most of my money was getting drained, bro, and I didn't even realize it. And I was super stressed, had a lot going on. Also, I was bullshitting in school a little bit, so that's why I switched from engineering to marketing. So, of course, I had to stay in school a little bit longer due to me switching my major over, so I had to borrow a little bit of money as far as student loans, and I didn't realize that in the long run, I'm going to have to pay this money back. So here I am still paying on the student loans, but it's all good. I can afford it now. So that's the main thing, is not locking in and just partying too much, bro. Being around the wrong people, smoking, drinking, doing all this stuff every weekend, going and working hard, and then taking half the week to recover. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't putting my energy that I was putting in the partying into my side hustle and into other things. I wasn't really building that structure yet. I think life probably hit me in like 2023. Somebody hacked my AT&T account, and I had accumulated probably around $8,000 in debt from them adding stuff on my bill. And from there, I was like, damn, like, I'm disputing this. They're not accepting it. I'm paying on this stuff every month. And then finally, I put in one more dispute, and they finally lifted everything. But that taught me, man, like I need to go really take my finances seriously. I need to be saving more money, and I don't need to be bullshitting and partying and stuff. But one thing I can say is the discipline of going to the gym really did help me lock in as far as my finances as well. And it's gotten me to as far as I am now, and also just seeing other people's situation, not to be judgmental, but I was looking at it from a scope of this is not who I want to be. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take my life serious. And since then, I started my 401k. I started investing and doing everything that I was supposed to do. But the main thing I would say is also, if you are going to college, just make sure that you know what you want to do and make sure that you're passionate about it, because they don't really, teach us everything that we need to know. You know what I'm saying? They don't teach us about credit, saving money, all this good stuff. We're learning all this useless shit. Not all of it is useless, because we do have people who go to college to be doctors, lawyers, people who change the world, engineers, people that we do need. And I feel like we do need everybody, but as far as college goes, it can be a scam to some people. Some people see it as, a way out. But I just feel like if you're not doing nothing, having a degree definitely does help. So just make sure, if you're going to school, make sure you know what you want to do, and make sure you really pay attention to the student loans, because a lot of that stuff, man, they adding that interest on there. We don't really see that. We're young, we're just getting shit, and we end up paying way more money in the long run. We end up paying on it for a very long time. But one thing I can say is that I'm glad that I'm building these passive incomes, because I know one day I will be able to quit my 9 to 5 and also, double down on my debt, which I don't really have that much debt, but I also have a very good amount of savings, and I'm almost at my goal where I want to be at. But like I said, man, just make sure you save your money. Make sure you know what you want to do, and make sure you're not spending your money on useless things. So that's what I would say. From 18 to 21, I spent a lot of time not focusing on the bigger picture. I wasn't really locked in how I was supposed to be. And honestly, if I could take the knowledge that I have now and I could go back and revert, man, we'd probably be up 300 racks right now, easily. Invested in the stock market when crypto was at an all-time low. And I'm talking about Bitcoin, to be exact, because, man, I had friends around me trying to teach me about that kind of stuff, but I was too busy, worried about the people around me, and just trying to kind of put out an image, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting a substantial amount of money per week. I had a little blessing that was going, and then I kind of took it for granted, but I was still able to save a little bit and be able to move off, so that did help me. And I'm so glad that I went through everything that I went through in life, because if I didn't go through this shit, I would not be where I'm at, and I'm just thankful. God puts you through situations and tribulations for us to learn, man. We got to push through it every day. But remember, man, don't waste your time. If you're young, you really got the advantage, and it don't really matter how old you are. As long as you figure it out and you just keep going, bro, that's what matters. Remember, consistency does beat intensity. Just keep showing up. If you have a passion that you want to pursue, stop putting it to the side, bro. Just pursue it. Take your finances seriously. See where you at in debt. See how much you make. You know what I'm saying? Formulate a plan, bro, because if you don't have a plan, how you going to know where you're going? If you don't put the address into the GPS, it's not going to tell you where to go, bro. So that's your same, mindset you need to have with life. If you ain't got no direction, how the fuck you going to know where to go? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this is really for the people who's younger than me. Y'all just make sure y'all take y'all finances seriously. Make sure y'all saving y'all money, y'all pursuing y'all passion, and doing what y'all need to do in order to free yourself up for the future, because the whole purpose of doing these things is just to buy your time back and to also build that discipline and become the best version of yourself. Like I say, man, I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Sorry for the yap, but I'm out. Peace.